Welcome to episode 601 of AI Brief. I'm your host, Amin, and I am here with my co-host, Leah. Today's deep dive is, it's pretty packed. We are looking at a rare public intervention from Anthropic CEO Dario Amodei. We're also unpacking this just incredible story of a medical doctor making a massive mathematical breakthrough, running through the broader AI developments, hitting the wire. And then finally, we'll build a completely automated daily workflow using today's trending AI tools.
And, the real theme for today, the through line here for you listening, is that we are crossing a very specific threshold. We're finally seeing a massive shift where AI is moving away from these abstract promises and actually turning into tangible, highly specific, real-world results.
Yeah, totally. It's hitting the ground. So let's start with Anthropic, because Dario Amodei, he rarely posts on X, but he actually logged on specifically to intervene in this highly intense, very public debate.
Oh, right. The one between Gavin Baker and Sholto Douglas.
Exactly. So Baker, who's an investor, shared this wild rumor claiming that Amodei essentially envisions Anthropic one day becoming the only private company in the world.
Which is quite the claim.
Right. And Douglas, from Anthropic, flat out called that completely false.
Yeah.
But Baker pushed further. He argued that Amodei has basically lost the narrative on AI rules. Baker's point was that the constant, very public warnings about AI risks have actually backfired.
Like fueling those anti-data center campaigns?
Yes, exactly. All across the United States. And, I keep thinking about this like trying to unring a bell using a marketing campaign. Once the public structurally associates your industry with severe risk or views your infrastructure as this massive drain on power grids, traditional PR just falls apart.
Right. You can't just run an ad showing AI doing your homework when people are worried about their town's water supply.
Exactly. It really begs the question of whether a standard PR playbook can even work in the AI space anymore.
Well, and that's actually the core of Amodei's counterargument. He basically stepped into the thread to agree that, yeah, traditional marketing is completely useless here. But he pushed back heavily on the idea that his messaging is to blame.
Oh, interesting. So how does he justify it?
Well, first, he took aim at the regulatory debate. He called this whole tension between locking down AI versus open models a false choice. He clarified that Anthropic's proposals are actually designed to intentionally slow down the big frontier labs while sparing the small startups.
Okay, that makes sense.
But the most crucial point was about public trust. He basically said labs cannot market their way out of a bad image. The only way to win back trust is through real, undeniable glimmers of progress in biology and medicine. He specifically said actually curing cancer.
Wow, curing cancer. That's a massive, massive standard to set. But, speaking of these AI glimmers achieving real-world results in specialized fields, we actually might not have to wait that long.
Oh, because of the math breakthrough.
Yes. A medical professional just did exactly that, but in mathematics.
Yeah.
It is wild. So let's talk about Shanmu Jin. He is a neurosurgery resident in Beijing. His undergrad is in geology. He has medical training. And yet, he just solved Crouzeix's conjecture.
Which has been unsolved since, 2004?
Unsolved since 2004. It's an incredibly complex matrix math problem. And the mechanics of how he did this are just fascinating. He didn't just casually ask a chatbot. He used GPT 5.6 Sol, and he ran it in this 16-hour autonomous session inside ChatGPT work.
Wow, 16 straight hours.
Yeah, but here's the brilliant part. He completely denied the model any internet access.
Wait, really? No internet access at all?
None. And instead, he used this swarm of subagents battling against each other. It's a recipe he borrowed from an OpenAI prompt. So he just orchestrated this massive closed-loop AI debate to surface the final proof.
That is just incredible. And, for the listener, the so what here is huge. Formal peer review is still pending, but Cornell experts and the original author of the problem have actually already verified the proof.
It's verified. That's amazing.
Yeah. Math is just having a wild summer right now. Generating these proofs is suddenly accessible to anyone with a subscription, which means the role of a mathematician is fundamentally shifting.
Right, because if the AI can generate it.
Exactly. Verifying the AI's work is now the scarce, in-demand skill. The bottleneck isn't generating the answer anymore, it's proving it's right.
That is such a massive paradigm shift. And honestly, beyond these major breakthroughs, the wider AI ecosystem is just deploying updates at a breakneck pace right now.
Oh, absolutely.
So why don't you take us through the broader landscape of what's happening today?
Sure, I can walk us through the rest of the critical developments. Let's take it at a slightly measured pace because there is a lot here. First up, China's ZAI just rolled out GLM 5.3.
Okay.
They're claiming this is the strongest open source coding model out there right now, with top scores on Cyper benchmarks, and the weights are dropping in 2 weeks.
Oh, wow, 2 weeks. That's fast.
Right. Then, over at OpenAI, they've introduced a feature called Computer History. It's an opt-in feature specifically for Mac users. It logs your clicks and your typing to give ChatGPT and Codex a persistent memory of your recent work.
Wait, so it just sits in the background and watches your screen?
Basically, yeah. It integrates deeply into your workflow. Also, Anthropic shared some details on their Claude watermarking plans. The big takeaways are that it adds no cost, there are no hidden characters, and it's entirely untraceable to users or organizations.
No hidden characters. That's pretty clever engineering.
Yeah, it really is. And in the creative space, Pika Labs released 4 new AI audio models. So we're talking soundtracks, music, sound effects, and speech. And they claim these run up to 20 times cheaper than their rivals.
20 times. That completely undercuts the market.
It really does.
Yeah.
And finally, just covering this impartially based on the reporting we have, The Information published a report on Dario Amodei's wife, Cami Clark. It details her past ventures, including a past attempt to secure Jeffrey Epstein's backing for an adult film company. Obviously, we're just conveying the information reported there, not taking any stance on it.
Right, absolutely. We're just reporting what's in the sources today.
Yeah.
But man, synthesizing all of these updates, it just shows a massive, massive expansion in AI capabilities.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, we are going from deep system integration with things like computer history all the way over to multimodal creation with Pika. It's everywhere.
It really is.
So let's take all this ecosystem news and make it immediately practical for you, the listener. We're going to run through today's trending AI tools, and I want to give you a specific practical use case for every single one.
Love it. Let's hear it.
All right, so first up is BetterClaw. This is a no-code platform for scheduled AI agents. The use case here is automating your daily data scrapes or routine admin workflows. You don't need to manage any infrastructure or servers. It just runs.
Perfect for repetitive morning tasks.
Exactly. Next is TenorShare. This turns text into diagrams and infographics. So imagine instantly converting your messy meeting notes into a clean, presentation-ready visual for your team.
Oh, I could definitely use that.
Right. Then there's a Story, which is an AI creative canvas. Use this as a shared workspace. If you're a marketing creator, you can brainstorm and visually map out campaign assets together with your team.
Very collaborative.
Yep. Then we have GLM 5.3, which we just mentioned from ZAI. If you're a developer needing a highly capable open source assistant specifically for coding and agentic cyber tasks, that is your go-to.
Especially since it's open.
Exactly. Next, Pika Audio. The models span music, speech, and sound effects. The use case here is for indie game developers or video creators who need high-quality background tracks on a really tight budget.
That 20 times cheaper claim really helps there.
Oh, absolutely. Next up is computer history for the Mac.
Right.
If you are a programmer, you want Codex to automatically remember the context of the app you were just building on your desktop.
Okay.
This does that without you having to re-explain it every time.
Which saves so much time.
So much time. And finally, Gemini Flash 3.7. This is Google's new mid-class model. It's perfect for startups needing a fast, cheap, but capable engine for high-volume tasks. Think routing customer service tickets.
You know, the biggest takeaway for me looking at this list is just how stacking these specific tools together changes the game.
How so?
Well, like using TenorShare for your visuals alongside Pika for your audio.
Right.
Solo operators and small teams can combine these pieces and suddenly become more powerful and self-sufficient than ever before.
Yeah.
You don't need a massive team anymore.
That is such a great point. It's all about how they connect. And, you know, that actually brings us to the close of episode 601. But I want to leave you with a final, somewhat provocative thought based on what we talked about today.
Okay, let's hear it.
If a medical professional, someone who is not a mathematician, can solve a 22-year-old math problem just by turning AI agents against each other in a closed room, what long-standing, seemingly impossible bottleneck in your own industry is ready to be shattered next?
Ooh, that's a great question to think about.
It really makes you wonder, right? Well, if you enjoyed this deep dive, please follow the podcast and share it with a friend who needs a shortcut to staying well-informed on all things AI.
Thanks so much for listening, everyone.
See you in the next episode.